Morning. It is June 23rd, 2016. And my God, the summer is, uh, I guess I guess technically it just began, but to me it feels like, I mean, I always look at the beginning of September as it ending. So, well, I don't know, whatever. But, yeah, it's all on how you look at things, and like to me, it feels like the summer's half over. But on that note, on how you look at things, I was just talking to one of my neighbors, and he always tells me he's a big fan of these little festivals I put together here with these videos. And I said, "Oh, so you're the one." So he actually gave me this topic as a suggestion. So I'm going to go into it, what my opinions are on it, for the time capsule. And I'll title this one Orlando, and not Orlando Bloom or Orlando Magic or Tony Orlando and Don, but the subject of Orlando and guns. Why did I hold it this way? It's killing my arm, and now it's too late to switch it over. But anyway, oh man, anyway. I wonder if I can switch it around. Here we go. Oh, so I can talk, because otherwise I'm gonna have a cramp. Okay, here we go. That's better. Um, so anyway, if it's sideways now, well, just use your imagination. Just laugh. My opinions on gun control. It's such a it's a the whole topic is a loaded question. No pun intended. Actually, pun intended, because I said no pun intended. But I think you know what you really have to do with this whole gun situation is really start hammering home to kids, from, I would say, kindergarten on, how to deal with anger, conflict resolution. I would every day be talking about anger and hostility, and ways to handle things, in an adult manner, and not in a Charlton Heston way. You know, the tube, the toothpaste is out of the tube at this point with all the guns on the streets and everything. So you can't you can't take what's already out there off. The bad guys are always probably going to be able to get what they need, but by the same token, you got to start somewhere. And I would start by saying enough is enough of all the bullshit posturing of, when something happens, this 3 days of mourning deal, and all the soft music on the news, and all the mind-numbing tributes, and our hearts go out for this, our hearts go out for that. Well, when are we gonna fucking do something about it? Really? I mean, we got these Million Man marches for black rights and everything. What about a million? What about a 100 trillion per human march for life? And just say enough's enough. The human life expectancy, should be, 80 quality years. It shouldn't be, gang banging, and all this shit bullshit, and being dead before you even get started. And that all comes from all these guns. I mean, if you if I would say, for starters, if you wanted to, come down really hard on gun control, you would give a mandatory 10-year sentence for even being in possession of a gun. That would be a great start, in my opinion. You get caught with a gun, 10 years in jail, hard labor. None of this sitting around. You watch like shows like Oz or whatever. They get too much free time on their hands. No, you get them out in the street picking up, trash, or laying down concrete, or learning a trade or something every day. That's what they should do in jail. They should be working every day. Shouldn't be just sitting around, thinking too much. Should be working. That's a topic for another video. But yeah, like, I think in combination, if you can educate these kids, and I hear them over in the schoolyard across the street from me, all graduating today, and they're all singing all these mind-numbing bullshit songs and whatever. It's going to start with these kids now. and when they go home to, a lot of these minority kids are going home to situations where the mom and dad aren't the most stable people in the world. They've all been brought up on these Jerry Springer parents, and so you really got to start educating these kids about how to handle conflict. And I was just talking about that with the neighbor, about conflict and um, things that I'm dealing with on a personal level. But the answer isn't a gun. It isn't. It never is a gun. The only people that should be carrying guns around are cops. That's my opinion. There'd be no reason for them to have to carry a gun if nobody else had guns. You know, and I think it begins and ends with people just standing up and saying, how many more try? I mean, whether it's um, a massacre, or it's just some, two-bit drug dealer down at Grove Hall getting shot. That's one too many. That's one too many. And I don't place any more emphasis on these massacres as I do on that situation there with the two-bit drug dealer. A life is a life, and every life is precious. And if you're getting snuffed out before it's supposed to end, you're taking away generations of productivity of what that person could have accomplished. He could have been maybe the next LeBron James, or maybe found a cure for cancer, or maybe was able to counsel people on the dangers of drugs and gangs or whatever. I mean, you're snuffing out all this potential, and everybody should be trying to find what their potential is instead of trying to kill each other. I mean, really, one life. Maybe there is no heaven or whatever. So that's how you want to go and shooting people and going that route in the name of religion and all this other bullshit. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Don't do anything because of religion or anything. Live your life because you want to, you want your kids and your family and your friends to have a good example to look up to. Don't be shooting people and all that shit, causing stress and the butterfly effect. Like I said, I don't think I said butterfly effect, but the effect of killing is permanent. You're damaging families, damaging everything. The core of families and breadwinners and all this stuff over nothing, over bullshit. And like I say, with the toothpaste being out of the tube and everybody wanting to defend themselves with a gun, you know what? Take up karate. There you go. Take up karate. You want to get mad at somebody? Kick them in the head. That's how. If you want to be a badass, become a black belt. There you go. There's your answer. Everybody take up karate. Get rid of the guns, and mandatory 20-year sentences for anybody caught with a gun. There's the truth right there. All right, there's your Orlando video. As usual, adios.